we go.
Yay. All right. Welcome, one and all, to another exciting session of Astral Odyssey. Our heroes and their newfound, newborn frontier that they're beginning to explore for themselves have arrived at the Rock of Brawl, an asteroid colony known as a great shipping hub and trade transit due to its proximity to several major divine domains throughout astral space. They've met old friends, made some new ones, and through their careful savings in the last year of their adventuring, finally managed to purchase their own ship. An old and busted, but has character squid model called they have dubbed the Happy Gadsworth. After designating some crew positions, getting things set up, the paperwork there, and getting things stocked, along the way to potentially recruit a crew, they happened upon a pair of well-to-dos being mugged in an alleyway who came pretty prepared for this instance. There were gunners up on a balcony. There's a mimic that they controlled. And for some reason, the gods of fate and chance just did not enjoy the thought of them succeeding very much and wanted to drag this fight out as long as possible.
And yet it still fucking hurt.
And with most of the group either dead or having flown the coop, they were left in the alley with the mysterious duo, a turtle fellow and a construct of some kind, who, upon learning of them being a new spell jamming crew, seemed rather delighted at the prospect, saying they may be exactly what they're looking for. All right, so we're going to pick up right where we left off. You are in this alleyway where you once were. All traces of the combatants who are still living are pretty well long gone.
Mm-hmm.
Slurp is, I think we left off with Slurp looting them for everything they were worth.
Pretty much. And you
I think
find
was a
that there
gift
was
rifle.
not much there, to be frank.
Okay. I think I got one of the gifts rifles.
You did.
Osmond was applying a mud salve to the damage that he did to, oh god. Rivy. Sorry about that.
Didn't mean to hit me, so.
So, Fizz kind of floats around, go with this little meta spray thing going, does anyone need, and Slurp asks, does anyone need healing?
I have a few new nicks, but it's not too bad.
I do, but I'll live. If you're low on spells, just hold on to them.
Oh dear.
Or is
The little portal fellow steps forward. Let me pull Hero Forge up and show off the design for him again, since it's been a few weeks. Show off both of them. It's a shorter one. He is technically sized small, since turtles can be that now.
Tiny turtle.
Kind of has red-eared slider appearance in terms of a silhouette and coloration, except reds or blues. So, has a very nice looking, kind of functional looking outfit on. Lots of some kinds of plastics, long baggy pants, a belt, and is walking with a pneumatic cane of some kind. Wearing a large pair of goggles on the top of their head. Right. So, this fellow... Actually, wait, now ignore that. Go. We're not going to do a screen cap. We're just going to do that. There we go. Almost potentially spoiled some things.
Oh dear. Aww. I love him. Oh, they finally let you put decals on reptilian skin?
Turtles get it. The turtle face does.
God damn it.
Literally
All
just
that,
red-eared
uh,
slider patterns.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
And their companion standing at about the same size as... I'd say about same size as Meta. Warforged fellow who appears a bit more armed for combat. And I will also position it so you can see something with their headgear that doesn't show up very well.
Zilch is a good name for a Warforged.
Yeah.
Not a zilch.
And if that'll upload. Yep, you can see that their headgear is arranged into where they have horn-like protrusions, but it joins together into almost a halo-like loop around the back of their head.
Huh.
That's neat.
Fascinating.
So what were they after?
Oh, your bog standard fare, the turtle says, just kind of brushing off a little dust from the sleeve. Oh, whatever gold we happen to have on hand. Any potential juicy details? It's,
Insight.
Yeah.
if you
They were
wish,
pretty well.
a 10?
Equipped for a
Alright.
random mugging.
They're pretty well prepared for a random mugging.
10 and a 13. Okay.
I really should
Are
have.
we
rolling
Just the
insights?
Osmond insights
We're
people
rolling
up.
insights.
You can roll
Wow.
if you wish. I'll allow one more.
I don't even know if I have the skill. And my character sheet is fighting me. Hold on a second.
You are a
There we go.
charisma caster, though.
Say it's wisdom, though.
Insight
Oh,
is
yeah,
wisdom.
it is, yeah. Ignore me. Ignore
Yeah, I
me.
should
Do we
not
have a
roll.
wisdom caster?
I
And
Oh, wait,
don't
that's you.
Yes. Yes,
I-
that's me.
You are.
I have a
Yes.
3 in insight. I could roll it if you'd like.
I also have a 3.
Yes.
My best stat is my con.
11. Okay. Noted.
That's why I've still
You-
rolled decently well with insight despite not having that as a skill.
All right. Well, immediately wondering, that seemed a little bit much. Your logic is there. Looking into this little guy's little turtle eyes, which are very large and very bright, you don't detect a lie. Well, I do agree that it's rather surprising that they would come out after just us. There's so many people out here with more money than us who are far less, well, protected. Looks over at the Warforged, who's just sheathing away weapons, holstering a gun. Yes. See, it was probably our attire that gave us away. We are, not from around here, you might say. We are not local.
So they saw you weren't from here and assumed you were someone more important.
Our attire is, I don't know if any of you have been out that way, but our attire is rather common in the knowledge domain. There's a lot of assumptions there that folk there are, that education begets wealth. Which is not inherently true, but, either way. I owe you all a great deal of thanks for coming to the rescue of two strangers. I am, Professor Marco, and this is my counterpart, Zilch. The Warforged just gives a curt little nod, crosses their arms, and takes a step back.
Marcus, Zilch, Osmond.
Slurp.
I am Clax.
Captain Clax.
Ah,
Thank you.
you preside over your crew here. Well, I must commend you. They're very well trained, very well equipped.
I wouldn't take credit for that. It's a new captainship.
Ah, humble to boot. Well, we might get along just fine. So, might I propose a change in location? I don't
That would-
enjoy being in close proximity to. Looks over at the corpses of bandits that were bludgeoned and acided and immolated to death.
Mhm.
Osmond side eyes Meta and Rippy, and mumbles under her breath. Are you two not going to introduce yourself? His breath.
No.
Forgive my fellows who are being brusque all of a sudden.
Oh, sorry. Oh, pardon me. I was just making sure Gadsworth was doing okay. Hello, I am Meta.
Meta. Interesting. By perchance, you wouldn't happen to be from the light domain, would you? Your garb suggests as such.
Sort of, kind of, not really. Oh, life domain. Life or light?
Light is what he said.
Cool. Apparently my brain's a little more scrambled than I thought it was. I do apologize. Sort of, I come from a small moon colony, kind of in between the life and light domains.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, come, let's just find a potentially better location to discuss things. You may have, well, I'm not one to believe in fate, but you might very well have fallen right into some very fortuitous circumstances for all of us. Come. He just starts walking away, not using the cane terribly much, but definitely still you can tell putting some weight down on it as they walk, and Zilch following shortly behind.
Osmond, lags behind a little bit, see who else,
Oh,
is
forgive
close
me,
to
I
that.
never even asked if you were interested in my proposal. Just assumed you might be. I deeply apologize.
I am. I think we are. He looks at the others.
I most certainly am.
Sure.
All the captain says he is interested, so we are interested.
I'm loyal.
And
On
looks
top of
over
that-
to Clax. It's like that's how it works, right?
I don't know. I mean, I don't really see myself above you all. It's kind of a democracy so far.
Ships that don't run by that rule tend to end in violent mutinies, so the Zilch says, just kind of not quite looking back at you as he's walking.
Ruby is
Well,
tilting.
I'm certainly going.
Ruby's tilting her head at Oswin, like, in a questioning manner.
What?
It's very. Just to you. It's like, are we not. Are we not suspicious of them anymore?
Is mentally to you. Oh, I am very suspicious, but we can't, letting them leave means we'd be out of this entirely. But being rude would just raise suspicion on their end.
Clax, for his part, he is following the two fellows, but he does kind of turn around doing the backwards walk, and he does the telepathic equivalent of eyebrow wiggle. Yes, I'm very much aware that this could be a risk, but I'm much too interested.
She wiggles her antenna back and goes, "Alright." And very loudly in both of their heads she goes, "My name is Rivy."
Oh, splendid, Rivy. All right, so that's Oswin, Captain Clax, Rivy, Slurp, Meta, and... Oh my! You've befriended a little eye tyrant.
Oh, yes, this is Gadsworth. Gadsworth, be nice.
Gadsworth is a gentleman.
That's giving Gadsworth a lot of credit.
We named our ship after him. He deserves it.
True.
We would have made him captain, but apparently too many people have been doing that for tax evasion purposes.
Ah, yes. Deadly business, that. See, it's hard to run a shipping business on mascot economies, yes.
Shipping business?
Of a sort. We'll explain more when we arrive at our safe location.
Hmm. Can I insight here, Zilch?
If you wish.
I do. I'm very suspicious. It's all okay.
I will roll.
Yeah, okay.
All
I
right.
don't think I'm getting anything.
You... You are... There's some tripwires going off in your head. This man
Okay, yeah.
clearly just lied to you. They are clearly going to lead you somewhere that may not be the safest on the planet.
Oh no! Oswin's
Noticing
eyes
that
knew.
Oswin
Panic.
is squinting in suspicion more than usual, which I've definitely probably picked up on that in the last year we've been together. Does the telepathy of it's like, don't worry too much. We just beat the asses of like 13 guys. I'm pretty sure we can handle these two.
Back to him mentally. I guess it does it work like that? Can like
You can
if they
communicate
initiate-
thoughts back to Thrycreen. I'm going to rule that.
Okay.
If it's a one,
Okay.
it's a connection.
Okay.
That's how I'm ruling it.
Then back to him. He says, "Yeah, and we just used but a lot of our resources to do so. We're not exactly at full strength at the moment.
Neither were they. They were getting their asses whooped.
Yeah, but they're leading us to a second location.
Then we run.
Slurp, hanging back a bit, leans over to Meta and goes, I think they're speaking in their heads again. They're doing that thing where they just stare at each other emphatically.
I mean,
Oswin
it happens.
and Clax
I was
are
gonna
just like
say.
Oswin and Clax just like looking at each other silently as we walk.
Prolonged eye contact.
Yeah.
It's like
Private
that Bo
DMs.
Burnham bit.
I mean,
Prolonged
two of our
eye contact. Prolonged
our-
eye contact.
look, Slurp, two
The
of
way
our
you're saying
friends
that makes it
communicate.
sound like it's a debuff.
Yes.
Go on, Gray.
Look, Slurp. Two of our friends are Thrakeen and communicate to us mainly through the psychic connection because, let's be fair, common is a hard thing to do when you don't have a traditional organic tongue.
The blob just kind of swings around the pseudopod to look at. Meta.
You don't have any bones, you don't count.
I don't have any bones that are mine.
Exoskeletons are just bones on the outside.
Are they your bones? Well, they're in my possession, so yes.
How many bones did you steal this time?
They're snacks. Leave me alone.
Calcium is very
Bone marrow's
important.
got high energy.
Alright. You guys progress. You're heading around this point. They actually start taking you south. Down one of the main thoroughfare streets, seeming to stay as far away from back roads and alleyways as possible.
Okay.
At least
This
we
isn't
don't
the
have any
direction-
Backstreet Boys.
This is in the direction of the Edge, which was the more rough and tumble place they told us about, right?
No, the Edge is actually the higher end tavern. It's right here.
Oh,
The
Oh, right,
Rock
it's the
Rat
rat.
over here is the seedy
right.
one.
right.
They're
With
taking
the
you-
were rat.
We had to go see
You-
Luigi though.
You guys
Oh, yeah.
were heading originally over here to the guild house to potentially seek out a crew, but they are not leading you that way.
Okay.
Please be Luigi.
Can I just make a note of what way we're going?
Absolutely. I mean,
Cool.
at this point, you can't. You're kind of locked in with buildings on all sides. You're seeing folk of literally every race imaginable walking around. It's very open and very busy. You guys are in a residential area at the moment.
Okay, that's a good sign though. Hopefully.
We are not being led down back alleys. I think they are fine.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
See, what did I tell you? If we're gonna get shanked, at least there'll be lots of witnesses for our innocence.
Is that important?
I mean, it could help.
If we wish
Oh,
to do
wait a
business
minute.
here,
We left those corpses back there. Is that normal?
Let's find out.
Gang violence. Yeah, they'll probably chalk it up to gang violence. It happens.
Out loud, Osmond says, should we have just left those bodies back there?
Is it your first time just leaving bodies in places to decompose?
No, well, typically we threw them into pits and burned them.
That'd just make you hungry.
Slurp prestidigitations the blood off their knuckles.
Osmond makes a face when you say that.
What?
What did Meta say?
Meta said, does it just make you hungry?
Burning bodies.
Look,
Barbecue.
I'm just saying, you put meat on a grill, you get hungry. It's a trained
It's not the
response
same
of most
thing.
civilized societies. And I have heard, I've never experienced, might experience it, but haven't yet, that if you burn human, it smells like, oddly enough, cooking pork. And I
First
want to
of all,
know, at some point, if you burn other ones, do they smell like other things?
First of all, I'm not
Look
human.
at a space pig flying by. It's like, humans taste like that?
First of all, I'm not human. Second of all, can I insult you?
You're more than welcome to.
I want to know if you're cannibal.
Oh,
You
BB.
want at some point.
See what happens here first. Oh boy.
I don't want to eat anybody. I have questions. If when you burn different peoples, do they smell like cooking food? And what foods do they smell like?
All I'm
Yes.
saying is if I see if there's a witch being burned nearby, I'm probably going to take in a whiff.
Take a sniff.
God.
It's not, doesn't mean I want to eat a witch,
with a-
but you know.
With an 18 insight, you are entirely sure that Meta has never eaten a person a day in her life.
Okay, that is a relief to
You-
Osmond.
At that height, I'd probably say you recall her going, "Yeah, I grew up with like knowing 20 people. Total."
Okay.
It was a big deal when we ate Old Bill.
Whole village came down to celebrate.
Old Bill was one of them giant isopods we were raising. He got kind of old, so we had to put him out. And then, hey, he's a giant isopod the size of a bus. That's a feast time. What can I say?
Can make a whole house out of all that.
He's still in the family. We use his shell as part of the wagon.
As Meta says that she wants to smell what burning people smells like of different kinds. Rivi is looking through her spell book and she looks up at her and goes, "Unfortunately, I do not have the energy to do that yet."
Whoa.
Ominous!
I mean, growing up in the Narrows, we had to eat some pretty weird shit.
Looks to Clarks. Have you eaten someone?
Not that I know if it was a person.
Okay.
Ambiguous street meat.
Okay. Fair.
You know,
That's going to be the
you
title
just
of the
don't
next
accept-
punk
Back
album.
alley stew. You don't ask what back alley stew is.
You just be glad you got meat in the street gruel.
You don't eat. Listen, you don't eat the meat of other humanoids. That's typically not very good for you, especially if you're of the same race. Like that can fuck up your, humanoids carry diseases that non-humanoids typically don't, and your body's not really built to deal with those.
That is why you cook it.
No, but even then.
Okay,
This is a fascinating conversation, Zilch says.
Yeah,
So-
if you notice, it's just silent for the most part.
Yep.
So, I want to take this into point. Like, you could do a traditional humanoid, sure, but like, let's be real here. I'm the closest to a traditional humanoid we have,
You have lots of eyes.
and I have lots of eyes.
You can't
Like-
really tell if Rivy's being sarcastic enough.
Meta has no reason to believe you are, so she is behaving like you have been just
See,
straightforward.
Yeah, is it wasn't it said you're something special, Asimar, or was it?
Yeah, I'm an Asimar.
Oh,
So, like-
capital.
So does that like change your flavor profile?
I have no idea. I've never been
You're-
eaten before.
Osmond looks at his hands. I probably taste like rock.
Don't knock
I
it until
mean-
you try it.
Watch
I
your
mean,
step,
what do you think-
everyone. We're approaching the edge.
Oh, Edge? What?
As you clear out past this alleyway, you now realize at the very border of the asteroid, you're almost at the gravity inverse plane.
Osmond stops.
You can just stare out as you clear this corner and just see deep space.
Why? What are we doing here?
Oh, we're almost there. I have a contact I was supposed to meet before we were way late. Hope we haven't missed them. Hurry,
Why
hurry,
are you at
this
the
way.
edge?
Because the business is at the edge, silly.
What? Is it? Are you? Can you fall off of this edge, Vivi?
No, if you do, there will be a slight drop, but the gravity of the thing will just drop you right there on the side. There's actually a
Oh, thank
whole other
goodness.
colony on the bottom of the asteroid. It's primarily
Okay.
used for military purposes.
But it'd probably be
It's-
disorienting as hell.
Would any of us
one
know
of the-
about that?
Yeah, it's pretty common knowledge. Most people aren't
Um,
allowed down there, but going down there unaided without flying down there it's a vertigo trip waiting to happen. You will probably puke.
Yeah, in that case, it's like.
Get the
Oh, sorry. Go on.
sorry. No, go ahead.
Yeah?
Sorry.
Oh, you can go ahead. I'm stuffing my mouth.
Well, no, I'm self-conscious. Get the Yankee ships used to. I don't know if they still have them, but they would have, because taking advantage of that, they would cut off the bottoms of two ships and stick the two top halves of war galleons, so they were just massive, like mirror reflection ships,
Like
taking
those,
advantage of the inverse, the two gravity fields.
like those plasma rifles from Halo.
Kind of similar, yeah. Just yes, get Yankee on note for that. Blackites have exercised many interesting things. There's quite a lot to be said about a life entirely spent out in the void. You have to get creative. Anyhow, there we are, right here. And you enter an area where you see a large observatory-like building right there in the edge, with a large spyglass sticking up out of the top. Very intricate, lots of guild work all around. You see lots of brass and gold and silver plating along this dome-like top, showing various constellations and the like, and they are actually moving through clockwork mechanisms of some kind you cannot determine.
Hmm.
Well, someone's well off.
Hell, it's a lucrative business running an astromancy.
A what?
Star charts.
Oh.
Something we will inevitably need.
Oh, absolutely, especially if you're to partake of the offer I've in mind. But first, I've got to make sure I've got the darn thing. And, one moment, you may enter if you wish. And, stepping very quickly inside, Marco and Zilch enter in.
Oh, did we get the impression that they own this place or that they work here? Or that the
No,
meeting's
they gave
somewhere?
no such indication.
Do you? Is this? Who is your contact?
You'll meet them when you come inside.
Meta goes inside,
Mm-hmm.
just no question, not even blinking any of her eyes, just immediately follows them in.
Meta?
Yeah, Slurp slides in. It's like watching someone use Heelys, but it's just oozing in.
Rivy will follow after an antenna wiggle.
If you're worried, Oswin, I'll bring up the rear.
Fucking unbelievable. He stomps in.
This is a public
Nothing
place.
venture, nothing gain, Oswin.
Look before you leap.
This
All
is
right.
a very small shop. I can explode it. It's fine.
Bah, that just gives you existential dread.
I mean, it has a
You don't have-
telescope on the
You mean
roof.
you don't have existential dread?
No.
Nope.
What's that?
God damn it, guys.
Husband goes inside.
All right, all of you enter in. Lighting is immediately dim, but you immediately smell old parchment, dust. It is a nerd smell in here. There is
Like, nerd.
Smells like Rivy.
inside. You see a dimly lit interior with, let's see, about. Actually, no, we'll not bother with that yet. Lined with countless shelves with various little rolls of parchment, little holographic displays and holocrons, puzzle boxes, little models of ships on tables that are modeled to resemble star systems. You can see Marco and Zilch up there at the counter speaking to a somewhat older looking elf. Really, they are silver foxed in complexion, starting to gray around the edges, which means they've probably seen, like, I don't know, 3,000 years.
Yeah,
Telepathic, he's gonna make a telepathic whisper. Whoa, old elf. You must be really old. Probably older than most things books.
He has
yeah.
seen some shit, as you would say.
He was probably there for some of the first editions. Maybe he wrote them.
Jeez, Clash.
Oh, fuck.
We haven't even talked to him yet. And you're already roasting the man like he's on a Spitfire.
I mean, we were discussing about cooking people.
Look,
You
my
were right.
idle curiosity.
You were right,
My
they are a
defense-
fascinating little lot.
In my defense, I was saying you shouldn't cook people. Hello.
Greetings, my good man.
Well, good elf. As you know what I mean. See, well, so, I tell from some friends of mine that you came to the aid of two complete strangers. Rare thing in this day and age.
We're just gonna let someone get mugged.
Well, Marco and
You
Zilch
fucked
here
up
happen
when
to
you
be
did that.
some very lucrative clients of mine. I would have hated the loss, both of company and the resources that they bring. I have to thank you in some capacity. Bows a little bit. Name's Elmendar.
Hello, I am Etta. Do not be afraid.
I've seen far stranger Asimar than yourself. You need not worry.
Fascinating. I've never met another.
Not too many of you, but you're memorable. Either way,
Good on you for introducing yourself so early.
so you're the ones that they've got their eye on then. Good, I was hoping for this. It's a potentially quite lucrative offer, but for what you've done, can't help but feel like you deserve a little something extra, but let me attend to my original business first. And he turns back and starts speaking with Marco and Zilch again. As a matter of fact, got it right here. Reaches below the counter and pulls out a little cube of some kind, very intricately assembled. It wrapped up in some kind of vellum. It's like, oh
Vellum.
my.
That's animal
skin.
right?
Yep. It's like, my. Beautiful, yes. Not many of them left. Upgraded to far more intricate systems. But there's something beautiful about the old ways. Oh my, but this will have great use to us. Marco reaches up and takes it, inspecting it. Oh, excellent. The compensation will be more than worth it, I'm sure. And we'll be sure to include your name on the list of sponsorships when the time comes.
Is it something that Slurp would recognize?
You can
Again,
roll
artificer.
a history check.
Not proficient, but I have a high skill. Nope.
11. Okay. It is clearly a navigational. It's a really old model star map, but like a fancy ass one. Like you're basically looking at like it'd be like the equivalent of comparing a modern day car, just an ordinary street sedan, to like the fanciest ass Roman chariot around that like the emperor himself would have used.
Oh,
Fancy, but kind of useless still compared to the stuff nowadays. Ah, wonderful. And you're sure it leads to the specified location? There aren't many maps left of that system. So, indeed not. It took a bit of digging. But it should provide what you need.
Ooh, a forgotten system. That'd be a fun place to go explore.
What's this about a system that hasn't been visited much?
Oh, Oswald, it's none of our business.
I
Oh,
mean,
no,
they
it-
brought us here.
It could
What a lot.
potentially be, should you agree. Now come, there's plenty of privacy here. Let us seek some out. Marco begins walking out into this maze of charts and shelves full of them.
Comes over.
He's looking between
Have a seat, have a
everybody.
seat. Entering into a little reading area. Takes a seat and just procures out the little cube and begins fidgeting with it. Oh, something so beautiful about the tactile feel of one in your hands. Ah, so, you all are a capable spell jamming crew.
We would certainly like to
Thank
do so.
you.
And you've your own ship and everything.
Yes.
Freshly bought.
I see, well. That is certainly a good combination. So not much actual experience with getting out and about into the wider frontier then. Not yet.
we served
Not
a
really.
contract.
More than most.
Yeah, we've
graduating.
had a year's worth of experience. But
Also, that's how we found Gadsworth when we did raid that Eye Tyrant ship.
yeah,
This is Gadsworth, by the way. I hope he hasn't been gnawing on anything too much.
See, we've been acquainted. I saw what he was capable of during our little encounter. And you were saying there, my fine plasmoid fellow.
Oh no, they covered it.
So, I see, well.
Yeah, we were in our training. Our ship was taken by an eye tyrant. We took it back.
Oh, capable. Promising. Well,
Lucky. I was with Mumbles under his breath. Lucky.
Wow.
Don't downplay our abilities.
Luck plays a
Okay.
significant role in most things, you'll find. I consider it lucky that we found you. What, you believe? Not much of
I
one for
still-
believing. I mean, we do have gods in their domains, but they more so govern aspects of reality, not so much the fortunes of that. I have a very hard time believing they're all-seeing gods that are presiding up high, deciding our luck on a whim.
Sometimes it feels like everything's dependent on the roll of a die.
Sure. Anyhow,
I think I'm disassociating.
Looks so waste.
So, what is it you're proposing exactly?
well, I have been searching for a particular crew willing to partake of this. It's a somewhat need-to-know thing, but you see, Zilch and I operate out of the knowledge domain where we run a antiquarium of sorts, a satellite. What is the word I believe that others have used in the past? Not quite a museum, more of a repository of knowledge. We seek out things that are hard to find, so that they may be understood, and that so that the important lessons history has to teach us shall not be slept on.
I love it.
There's been a bit more scholarly.
Somewhat, yes. Though there can be danger in that. The galaxy is a big place full of unknowns. Quite a bit of it once was known to an extent that it is now not, but we'll get to that in a moment. So,
You're saying that space was lost?
well, star paths change, systems change hands. Why, that can happen recently. The Giants take systems every year.
Oh, that reminds me. What domain am I in? Was I from, BB? Do I even know?
I don't think we ever decided that. Your system was not 100% integrated into galactic society.
No, it was not.
Aware of and having trade, but not like engaging in any discourse beyond that. So I'd say probably the nature domain, given your elemental ties.
All right, that's good.
And now we decided Ulp, Slurp's planet, was a relatively recently discovered, or joining the spelljamming community.
Yep.
But they were in the life domain.
Yep, well, most known garden worlds are. The overwhelming majority. Right. Well, as I've said, we've come upon a rather promising lead, and we're hoping to procure some potential aid to do so. Our previous crews are unfortunately indisposed for this matter. Previous contacts unavailable, so we're having to expand. Now, as you can see... Oh, there we go, I've got it. Clicking the cube into a certain position, little lights in the centers of each of the panels begin to glow. Slides it forward, and it illuminates an image of a star system. Has 4 distinct worlds, several of them with moons, and a large red star. That's it right there.
What's this? Can I roll on that, or?
This would be a pretty unknown, I'm going to say.
Okay.
Do you
What
know
system is this?
Yeah,
I'm afraid not. What you see before you is a system that has not been catalogued in quite some time, where many have forgotten it. Only mentioned a few times. Never was all that exemplar even back then. I believe it was under Giant command at one point.
And you want us to
Fascinating.
go and poke that?
Well, something specific, in fact. Zilch, why don't you give them the details on that? You're the one better suited with the technical know-how. Sure. The Warforged steps forward and sits down in an adjoining chair, pulls out a little thing on their wrist and begins tapping on it. Little communication device of some kind. Well, there's been some interesting activity. Part of the nature of my employment in this partnership is seeking out old signals, radiation, electrical, all manner of things from forgotten or unknown, unmapped worlds. And there was some activity coming out of the system, right? Just pushes a few buttons and it zooms in pretty quickly, the hologram, to the moon of the second world in the system. Don't even have a name for it. It's not showing up in any systems, but it's picking up a ping of elemental energy that I was not expecting.
Why is that weird?
Hell. Elemental rifts can happen on their own, but they are rare. And not this confined. Based on my readings, this emanation is coming from a very powerful object, but one small enough to fit in the palm of a hand. We believe it is a key to a planar gate of some kind, a relic of an unknown and lost civilization. One of potentially immaculate value. Yes, and one that we would very much love to understand and keep out of wrong hands.
Slurp is like leaning forward intensely.
Mhm.
A planar gate is
As
not
is
something to play with.
Clax.
Indeed not.
No.
Fascinating.
I see I've got your attention.
Very much so.
As far as we know,
Can you
It's
tell what
very-
kind?
afraid not. It is too chaotic for that. I'm hoping that doesn't mean it's damaged, but it could be. We have a precise coordinate on the world itself, though. It's tidally locked, so it's eternally in daylight, not too far from the dividing line, so temperature shouldn't be too bad.
Damaged. What would happen if? What sort of dangers would that pose if it is damaged?
Depends on if you try to activate it or not. You might find yourself potentially transported to the realm of fire, or the realm of earth, the realm of water, or something in between. And then you might not be able to have a reliable pathway home again.
But that is if it is activated.
Yes. If it had been opening, we've been observing this for some time, Marco interrupts. If it was causing planar tears on the planet's surface, we would have known about it. Those energy spikes are immense. You're experiencing singularities of raw, pure elemental power in those moments. It's an unmistakable signature.
And is it specifically one type of element, or does it seem to cycle?
At the moment, cycle. We're not entirely sure. Seems to linger on fire, though, more than any other, though unusual. Bit of fire and a bit of earth, which means the realm of magma, which is a fascinating one.
An in-between fire and earth?
Why, yes, such things are entirely possible when planar energies confluence together.
I mean...
Slurp lets out kind of like a fart noise and goes, some people like to claim plasmoids come from the plane of slime.
The plane of slime?
Is that a thing?
What is slime?
Oozes.
No, I get that, but what would a plane of slime be made of?
Slime?
Elemental-wise?
Water and earth, I believe. But that makes mud, right? But
No,
they
that
say it's
would make
slime.
mud.
Mud's a
Other
type of
specific
slime.
case is tar.
Yeah, a plane of tar sounds cool, but a plane of slime is very unflattering.
Hell, better than other comparisons.
Hey.
Quite a few old stories that your folk
No,
came from the
I'm
spawn
trying
of
to speak in your
demons.
defense. You say people speculate you come from there, but do you?
Oh, as far as we know, he rose up from our planet Oop.
Yes.
We were just once one, and then we were many.
Yes, precisely. Just because there's a place that's slimy doesn't mean that the slime people come from it.
I mean, they say that everything came from the elemental planes interacting. I mean, some people do.
That is a popular theory, yes. So, if I have your interest, you have a vessel capable of traversing this distance. It would be just a quick drop, grabbing it and coming back. Easy peasy.
Though, of
Have
course,
them-
nothing as easy as it is on paper.
Yeah.
Do it.
It doesn't mean we're not interested, though.
No.
We're gonna do it.
Do you think we could have a minute to talk about it?
Absolutely, we give everyone we come into contact with chances to discuss this.
Yeah, good powwow.
Take what time you need.
Yeah.
Fizz has been floating around the space map, star map, on the hologram.
Osmond, motions everyone just step away out of earshot for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
what do we think?
We're gonna do it.
Sound-
Prospect. I mean, we
Sounds
were
like a
looking
good
for a
first
crew and adventure. And it seems that both have been delivered to us.
They may be able. They may have their own crew waiting or available, or people they could call on.
And this we can build up reputation.
It's true. But I mean, they didn't take us anywhere unsafe. Well, that's a good sign. What do you think, Rivy?
Rivy's antennae are a little agitated, like she's thinking to herself.
Oh, that's the thinking face.
I mean, we should be thinking about this. Some unknown star system?
Of course!
They did not say why they are looking for... what sort of crew they're looking for. They did not make that clear. I am afraid that they meant they are looking for idiots.
That's a good point.
But I don't know if they're being KG because they are being dishonest or because they do not want to scare us off before they get us to agree.
Yeah, they did mention the other one's a fleet.
Which means that there's either they're a shitty crew or there's reason to flake.
The fact
And
that
untold danger, perhaps.
What's that?
the
Slurp?
There was a. They're not explaining the full danger to us, perhaps.
Yes, they were kind of skimping on the details there, making it sound a little too easy.
the planes are unstable at the best of times, and they said that as long as it was not activated, we should be alright, but it is activating by itself.
That is true. I was going to ask, if it's inactive, how are they getting pings off of it?
Well, I mean,
Well-
most magical energies have latent magic energy.
Yeah.
That's true.
If I am
I'm
stuck on the plane of magma, I will not survive more than 2 minutes.
which
Most
is
of us
why-
won't, except for Oswin here.
Which is why I'll be the one to grab it, because I'm,
Meta
Built
will be able
different.
to tell what I smell like.
If it's a minuscule anomaly, I could potentially move it with my mind, but that's not
That is
exactly
a-
very strong.
Generally, with something with the name of a planar gate implies mass.
Yes, but they said it could fit in the palm of a hand. It's very curious, very curious.
I think that we should take it, actually. Because
You do.
if they are
I'm
bad people and are looking for stupid people, they misjudged us, and we can stop them from taking this gate. If they are good people and are looking for some place to put the unstable gate, then we win either way.
And yeah, all right. That's a
And we
That's
were
a
looking
good
for
argument.
adventure.
An uncharted star system, treasure loot, probably at least one funky critter or two for Gadsworth to gnaw on. Sounds like a good time.
And if we are eaten
I am-
betrayed in the end, it just enriches the tale that much more.
I'm fascinated by what technology may be there, and just
Exactly.
curious to see what's happening. But
This is the stuff stories are made of, if we play our cards right.
Curiosity is
But
never a
I-
bad thing.
It killed the
I
cat.
agree
I've
with
never
you.
seen one of those, so.
you know that what was that? What?
In response to curiosity isn't a bad thing. It's like, it killed the cat, but I've never seen one of those, so I don't know how to gauge it.
Yeah, and they people misconstrued that anyway. The cat died, but it came back to life afterwards.
satisfaction, right?
Yes, satisfaction, yes!
Yeah,
The satisfaction of adventure.
the satisfaction must be a pretty good spell.
If we are, after we do or do
Gonna
not
move past that,
accept.
okay.
Wait a minute,
Oh, sorry,
satisfaction
what?
spell. Do you think there's like wizards who work in the red light district?
What?
You put that into my mind now. I can't stop thinking about it.
No, Slurp,
Wizard
please.
Slurp
Slurp is just like look sideswiped like, wait, what's going on? I was on a different track. What?
We're talking about wizard whores.
No, Slurp, please continue your thoughts.
Yes,
I do not want to.
Ah,
Your
I was
relevant
going to say,
station.
if whether or not we do or do not take this mission, or if we can say we need some more time to think about it, we do know a very well connected certain, and just like their face turns into like a tiny, like a crude approximation of Luigi, a friend of ours who knows is very well connected. We can ask about them.
that's good. Have you ever? That's good. What you do with the face there. You ever thought about taking up like stage play?
It's like God. It's like, oh no, it takes a lot of effort to clench like that.
Oh damn!
Clench.
You-
I mean, yes, to make a solid form, it's clenching. You know, like muscles.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
The way you said it is. I'm sorry. I need to clench to make my face do this.
Secure the clinch.
Some of the
One of the advantages
There
of
are
not
actually
having much
some-
of a face.
there are actually some back home who practice very many years to, actually approximate actually humanoid features. But it takes a long time to do that.
No, I
It's
can't
pretty
help but
impressive, though.
wonder. Do you think there's like a stage play out there where it's just one plasmoid doing every part?
Well, we will
That'd be
never know
pretty
unless we
talented
go and
plasmid.
look.
Oh, Slurp goes, I actually did knew someone I that was of similar budding age to me. They ended up taking up puppetry. They can control like 8 different puppets at once.
Oh, it's wicked.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So I'm
It's
sorry.
just
Where
too
were
easy
we?
to make. It's just too easy to make plasmoid jokes.
Yeah.
You are not a bother for that. No, this is normal D&D stuff. Secret plans always devolve into weird tangents.
I'm not entirely convinced. I don't know. I don't think it's a bad idea, but this is.
This
We
is.
definitely need more information from them
Yes.
and others.
We should
We'll
ask
look
for
further
more clarity.
into it, but
If
but
you
we must
guys-
acknowledge that it's not a safe. Our lifestyle is not a safe one.
No,
We'll
but
go in
we
with as
shouldn't be
much
stupid
as we
either.
know. Yes, precisely. We'll get as much
So-
information we can, and then adapt on the fly.
So, Captain, I believe you should do the questioning for elaboration.
Well,
I
we
could,
do that.
but I know Meta's much more of a people person.
This is true. I do like making friends.
Could both be the talkers then.
There is the good cop, bad cop routine, I believe, that is supposed to work. I do not understand it.
Cops.
What is the cop?
Cops are both bad. There's no good cop.
I don't know what a cop is. I only know the saying.
They stink. They're bullies.
Like GIF?
Government enforcers, I believe.
It's a bully, except he has a badge he can flash at you to justify him beating the crud out of you.
Isn't flashing considered a crime?
I could see
Not
the
that kind of
rogue
flashing,
coming
but I can
out.
see why you would make that mistake. They probably could get away with that too, bastards.
She's making a note in her spell book that just says cops are bad.
All right, noted.
Anyways, I believe we are done deliberating.
All right. You turn to see the two of them conversing amongst themselves a little bit and turning to notice your flurry of motion. Oh, have we reached a point of discussion?
We would very much like to take you up on the offer. Of course, if we're to perform our duties to the best of our ability, we're going to need a little more information.
course, I'd be happy to elaborate, answer questions. It's good to know that you've agreed. Zilch, can you prepare contracts and manifests as well? So, sure. Just Zilch walks off for a moment.
We will, of course, have to read through the contract ourselves to make sure it is.
Absolutely, we've only just met, I understand.
Slurp will definitely do a read through because they have experience going through contracts being a merchant.
Indeed. So, what would you like me to elaborate on? I'm afraid I can't give you much in the way of world names or anything as system names. It's long lost
no.
time.
So, the previous crews you tried to hire for this little expedition. So what? They just all conveniently flaked, or?
Well, we've had a dedicated crew and retainer for some time. It's how we got here, actually. It's docked over in the north side. But this was something that they were not willing to partake in. Which is unusual for them. They've done far more dangerous than this, I've assured them constantly.
Too many unknowns, I suppose.
I suppose.
He's gonna leave it to Meta to ask the next question. So yes, it is sort of a good cop, bad cop.
Oh, my turn.
Yes.
What was I supposed to ask again?
That's actually a good point. I forgot as well.
Fuck.
You were asking about what sort of unknown factors there might be in this?
Yes. Right.
Why a dedicated crew decided to abandon us here on this rock?
You were
Yeah,
listening in on us, weren't you?
We weren't quiet. We're never quiet. And to be fair, I lost track of Gadsworth. I looked away for 30 seconds. I don't know what he's saying. He talks. Little snitch. Let him know. But yes. So, why did your old crew ditch you on this rock? I mean, it's a pretty good rock. It's better than my rock.
There's a lot more greenery than on my rock.
Well, could one of you roll a persuasion check?
Oh, 100%. Am I trained in persuasion? No. It's
I am.
fine.
All right. I'd
Would you
allow
like to
both of
roll,
you to make these
Phil?
rolls, or give advantage. Either way. If
That's up.
Flax decides to give advantage, we can use that 18.
Yes.
I will grant
But-
advantage, yes.
Cool. And it's just like, yes, it seems to be a very nice rock, but I understand the want to go to other places. So why did they leave you here?
Well, in spite of my repeated assurances that there would be no danger, there is, well, while the name of the system is not known, he kind of leans in a little bit. The nature of why it was lost to time is. It, should not be a danger after this much time, but, well, this system fell to the crawl.
I beg your pardon?
Can I roll a history check to see if Meta's ever heard of it?
Absolutely.
Cool. I don't.
They said
I
that
can
within
go-
earshot, so anyone could. All right, 16.
I will see. Do I have-
24. Once again, Clax with the nerd history.
Don't know if I'll try it.
6.
Yep.
Meh.
That's a on brand for Rivy. She doesn't know fucking nothing.
Or a wizard.
She doesn't even know where she came from. So
All right, so that Slurp and Clax both passed the DC for knowing a little bit about this. You've heard the name before, Meta. You're not really from a part of space where that's really a name that matters. It's just a history book term. Slurp, you're aware of the name Crawl in that they are. I guess you could say the closest equivalent is they're kind of the Tyranids of this setting in many ways. They're a hive-minded race of insectoid beings similar to Thri-Kreen to the point where they've been affiliated with one another in the past in terms of like rumors and propaganda, but they're very distinctly different things. Crawl are monstrous, all-consuming hive minds that cannot move to star systems on their own. They have to stow away to reach them, but upon doing so, they devour every ounce of biomass on the planet. And then just go dormant waiting for something else to wake up. Though, supposedly, they will die out eventually if there is no source of food for them to find.
So, you assume this place has been... Oh, wait, what? This is what Clax would have learned? Sorry.
You both, Clax would know the more intimate details. Slurp, you would know of them as a race of insectoid, hive-minded creatures that are
Clax will
largely
definitely
around the
lean,
galaxy's edge.
Yeah, he'll definitely lean in. Then he is very rapt attention.
Slurp says, those are bad news. Very bad news.
Yes, they are.
Yes, but from everything we can tell from scans, while this system does show signs of past inhabitation, this moon here does not. As far as we can tell, we've not detected any biomass of any kind. Which means there's no sign that they would be here.
Can you detect inanimate living things?
Afraid not, as far as I can tell. Not detected anything like that. Oh, sorry, I misunderstood. Yes, we are capable of detecting life signs on a world no matter how far away. It's not terribly difficult to do with our equipment.
No, I mean, like, I'm made of rock, mostly.
Indeed.
There are things made out of absolutely no organic or typically alive material. Can you tell if that's there?
Points at Zilch.
Why, yes. Quite.
Well, Warforged have organic components, don't they?
You can't see any on him, but typically, yes, above game.
Oh, right, yeah. I don't know that, my bad.
Just... As far as we can tell, this world was probably, this moon was likely used as for ritualistic purposes. Zilch says, returning back with some parchment and quills.
Okay.
The actual worlds below, as far as we can all tell, have been completely bled dry. We have detected past life signs there. So while, yes, it is a crawl system, and therefore not entirely legal to fly to under domain law, the treasures there are quite lucrative. The knowledge to be gained from them especially.
Yes, I can see why the crew would be reluctant to fly into crawl space.
Thrall are not capable of interstellar travel on their own. So I fail to see how you could potentially encounter any danger. This system likely fell thousands of years ago. The odds of them even being on that moon are non-existent.
I like those odds. And besides, the Giants apparently were in there for a little while. So if there are, dead there, we should be fine. We should only worry if we find giant corpses.
I know I've said this a lot tonight, but Oswin is a suspicious person. Can I insight?
Sure, I'll allow it.
He is very 11.
Okay.
He's naturally suspicious, and this is some kind of shady stuff.
Okay.
My dear my telepathic communication. My dear Oswin, I'm a shady individual. I come from a shady background. I know shady.
And?
I'm not getting that vibe.
If any danger comes, we'll take care of it. We deal with that.
Oh,
So crawl
Osmond
space.
crosses his arms.
So crawl space. That's good to know.
Is the thing making the star map within, like, are they blocking it off, or can I just walk up to that?
It's available.
Osmond walks up to it and picks it up. He looks it over. Can I investigate this?
Sure. Nice.
Me too. Fuck.
Okay, what are you trying to find?
Anything, like, off about this? Like, is it any damage or, like, anything not activated, I guess?
I mean, it's very old, and you have no inherent knowledge of how this old thing works.
What is it made of?
Appears to be metal of some kind.
Okay. Metal is closely related to Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It
like,
technically is Earth.
yeah, it is Earth, but, like, nothing's, like, seems, as far as I can tell, off about this.
There's nothing illusory there or anything you can find or determine.
Okay.
It's good, honest minerals.
All right. Listen, you need this to get there, right?
It would certainly be useful for the crew that attempted to map it out, yes?
Let's be frank here. You need our help. We're looking for something to do. Tell us what you're hiding, or this is over.
You're not the captain.
Oswin.
Oswin does not look at them and keeps looking at those three.
Telepathic communication.
Oswin.
Oh, there's a roll. Okay.
Slurp looks confused at the sudden hostility.
It's confused, twitching antenna and a head tilt, but she's watching to see what's going on.
Yeah, Oswin does not. Through the mental link, she says, they're hiding something from us.
Yes, and we were trying to wring it out of them without resorting to them getting suspicious of us.
I'm not going to be someone's toy.
Then why are you on this crew?
Not on this crew to be a toy.
It's like, yes, it's like we've taken commissions before. We've taken orders before. We've dealt with the unknown before. Do you not trust us?
I trust
See us
you.
through.
I trust you. As best as I can trust anybody, but I don't trust them.
You don't have
When
to.
they are very clearly hiding something and have been hiding something from the start.
I mean, they did just tell us that it was
This
a
is
crawl
mentally.
world,
This is
and
mentally.
all right, they're doing the staring thing again.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but Osmond is looking at them, but he is mentally talking to the captain.
It's like trust in my and our ability to overcome adversity.
I do
If I were-
apologize if anything I've said or done has caused undue suspicion, Marco says, raising a hand very apologetically. Look, I understand it's dangerous, and I understand there's a lot unknown. We don't know a lot ourselves. In all frankness, I don't know any of you that well. I mean, I'm taking a leap here too. For all I know, you could have been hired by rivals to come in and just happen to show up as I'm about to get mugged, and just happen to be a new spelljamming crew in line to potentially take on a job. I'm trusting you to bring back whatever you find. when you could easily go off and find a higher bidder. That's the nature of this business. I'm risking a lot, and I'm prepared to pay very handsomely.
Osmond's eyes flicker to the others.
You should
This
put,
is how it usually works.
Hmm.
you should put the cube down.
I know you come
Osmond
from...
isn't like holding the thing like he's gonna smash it. He was just like examining it legitimately.
It's like, I know you come from a difficult background.
His
This is
eyes
simple.
narrow at you, and he can you like turn off a mental connection?
At least show.
That's a good
Yeah.
point. If either
could
you
just
breaks
start-
mentally the contact, yes,
Osmond
you can
cuts it
break
off when you say
You
that.
could just
his
start
eyes
going
narrow-
la 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 in your head over and over.
his
Yeah.
eyes narrow at you when you say that, and he cuts off the mental connection, puts it down, and says, "That's a fair point. But if you are holding anything back, it is very important that you tell us. Each of us are putting things on the line here. So we each need to be careful. But if there's some kind of unknown danger or adversity in our way, we need to know."
Marco stares at you pretty intently for a moment.
We're willing.
I'm afraid that's about zilch actually cuts them off. They do deserve to know more.
Yes.
There is no present danger there, but there is signs of past danger. And yes, it has activated in the past, and it activated quite recently. It opened a path to a plane that I don't recognize, very briefly, and then it went out. It hasn't gone active since, but we did detect a very, very high spike in some kind of energy. I'm not 100% sure. It felt it was too chaotic to put a clean pin on it. By the time I managed to triangulate one source of it, it seemed to change into another. But that energy signature is long gone. It hasn't been there since.
Rivi
Okay.
tilts her head this way and that at the Warforged. She goes, excuse me if this is rude, but can you perhaps mentally share with me how that felt? The energy that you were talking about?
I don't know too much, but I could certainly try. Alright. Type out a DM real quick.
Oh boy! It's never ominous when the DM's like, hold on, let me give you a private message.
It's one of my favorite tricks as a DM.
I'm sorry. Osmond is,
Never apologize. You're fine. All right.
okay.
It's good.
Osmond's a hammer.
Looking for nails.
Gotta nail him.
God damn it, baby.
I was a little worried that would backfire drastically.
One of my favorite bits to do in my last campaign, just to fill the quiet, is I had a Hexblade Warlock. Is I would just send them messages as the Warlock or their sword just making snide comments.
I like that.
I like that, yeah.
One of the great joys of having a talking weapon.
Well,
You-
Rivi is getting these thoughts.
Mhm.
Do I know what the Chaos Plane is? Have you ever heard of that? Is that a thing in Spelljammer?
It technically is, yes.
Okay.
You see Rivi's antenna just kind of go stiff directly up into the air, and like the insect version of Banana Cat face happens.
Oh no, that is
That's a
not
fascinating image.
Good. Yeah.
Like, ugh.
Don't like banana.
That is very strange. Even just the mental
Unfortunately-
backlash of it.
Unfortunately, that is all I know.
She's
Thank
gonna
you.
share that with Clax. Would you like me to do
boy.
private message to Clax?
Sure. You can copy and paste that to him.
It seems like it's hard to like put out loud in an actual, words. It's more like the feeling of that.
Well, that certainly is interesting.
So, can I roll history on the cast plane, BV?
History or Arcana?
History or Arcana? They're the same, so I'll do Arcana.
Was that said out loud, or did I miss it?
Damn it.
The
No one
actual
said cast
nature of it is
plane.
telepathic.
No one said cast plane. This is Oswin.
Never
scanning his
heard of
mind.
it. Lots of chaos. I don't know what a chaos
Yeah.
is. It's some kind. The only kind of chaos you know of is the Chaos Emeralds.
Oh no! I am gonna.
The man once used Chaos Emeralds to destroy a moon.
Oh fuck!
I remember when someone tried to destroy our moon with Chaos Emeralds.
That was you.
No, they didn't destroy our moon. They saw the giant pill bugs and stopped.
Yeah, if I was gonna like smash something and I saw big pill bugs, I'd stop too.
She's gonna say out loud to everybody, it feels dangerous, yes, but if something is happening like that, we should do something about it.
We would rather like it retrieved and brought back to the knowledge domain where it can be properly examined.
It should not be just floating out in space, whatever it is doing.
If it is even tied to a planar gate, even if it happens and opens by accident,
I do not like that.
I highly doubt there are crawl there, but even if there are, the thought of crawl getting into other universes is...
That's my concern.
That is.
about
That's
the
not
least.
something I thought about. That's terrifying.
That's one of the least pleasant thoughts imaginable.
That was my chief concern. If there are indeed crawl still roaming around there, and they got their hands on a key to every door in the universe.
We should go take it back.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
splendid. So we
The
have an
Osmond
agreement.
looks at Zilth, says, "Thank you."
Just nods. Pushes the slip of paper forward. See, I'll just need a signature from your captain and we'll all be square.
Alright, Slap.
Yes, may I take a look?
Investigation check.
Excellent.
Does someone want... Clax, look it over with me.
Yes, you can
Two
give
eyes are
age.
better than no eyes.
Yes, I should know what I'm signing anyway.
Yeah, it
Give me a
makes
bu-
sense that you'd be able to help.
Off 20. Okay, nice.
Hey,
All right.
there you go.
You read over the shipping commission contract when you guys signed on to that space galleon a year ago. This is very similar to that. It is very standard. There's not much in the way of subtext. It's basically just you are under our employ. There is contractual terms. The cargo intended must be delivered to the proper client. Failure to do so will result in a bounty being placed on your head until the object is retrieved. You know, standard fare. This is a deal. They honor it and will honor paying you as well. They also promise a grand total of 50,000 gold for the retrieval of the object.
I do mean to ask. You wouldn't happen to have any other hands available?
We've acquired a ship, as you can see. This is all we have.
And our former crew happened to fly the coop, as it were. Until this is all over, they probably won't come back and crawling back until, well, they may not ever.
Well,
Great, we're not
yes.
much for spell jamming crew work ourselves. Not exactly our specialty. I've not the constitution for it, he says, kind of gesturing to his cane. I could go if need be, though I've more of a military background, Zilch says.
Oh,
Yes, because with how difficult it has been to convince us, trying to ask others to accompany us to crawl space might be a hard sell.
You will have trouble with that, yes. Though there are always those desperate enough. You just have to ask and put forth terms very honestly.
you're in the military.
Once upon a time. Order domain. Peacekeeping.
Let's see.
So, that would be my recommendation. You said you possess a squid ship model?
That's correct.
And you're about half of a full crew. You honestly would benefit well enough just from 1 or 2 additional hands, enough to operate the weaponry in the event that you're gone.
Yes.
Yeah, proficient with weaponry.
Ideally, you'll also want someone with spell jamming capacity themselves that you would trust enough to take the ship off and get it ready to leave if you should all be departed from it.
Fair point. Of course, one of the problems being, if we leave everyone else on the ship, what's to stop them from abandoning us on crawl space?
Trust. That's what it comes down to. You could
You could-
could make it there entirely, just the 5 of you, but if you were attacked by something larger, and trust me, there are some very big casts of crawl, that a spell jamming ship would be your only hope of beating. You might need someone enough to help man the guns, as it were.
That's true.
We may need.
You think maybe we can ask Luigi for any trustworthy contacts?
Am I muted or?
No, we can hear you. You came through on a little bit of a delay. You were saying something?
Yeah, I was trying for like the last few minutes, trying to say we should check Luigi then.
Yeah, exactly.
Check with
That is
Luigi.
that is a good.
So,
Yeah.
I just was not coming through apparently. Sorry, I was just getting
Check
frustrated.
with
sorry.
Luigi. You're good.
You're all
Checking
right.
with
Glad that
Luigi's a
got
good
cleared up.
idea.
Yes, we could ask for Luigi for some trustworthy contacts. He did point us towards the ship.
Well, take whatever time you need. We'll be here at Elmandar's for the time being. We'll be eagerly awaiting your return.
Okay.
All right.
Do you have any other questions?
How are you, Gadsworth?
Gadsworth's
good
just
point.
been kind of roaming around, just looking at all the different things with his eyeballs the entire time.
Lots of things to look at. Lots of dust
Yeah.
to analyze.
All right, so if you don't have anything else, you guys head back to the Happy Beholder.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
Sounds
think so.
about right.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else I want to ask them, so yeah.
All right, easy enough. All right, well, for the sake of expediency, say the walk back there is pretty
Wasn't
easy
there-
and uneventful.
Wasn't there mention of someone giving us a reward for saving them?
I think this is the reward.
Mm-hmm.
Elmandar did offer you something as well. That's right. Good for reminding you
Oh,
there.
Okay.
As you guys do step out, I almost forgot about that. Elmandar is like, so, Could potentially be working alongside them for a bit then, eh? Took on a contract. Well, in the event that you need it. See, you just saved some very valued clients of mine. And he pulls out a very nice star chart of his own. A much newer looking one that's rolled up like a scroll. It's gilded around the edges. So you might find this promising when you are in need of heading somewhere else. And
What's that?
update
Oh.
fees are free.
It's,
Fantastic.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm sorry,
Yes.
I cut out. What was the?
He
was
offered
that?
you a star map.
Oh, yes.
And updates are free.
ooh, yeah. So does it help us like navigate like locally, I guess?
It is a star chart of the sector, yes. It basically will allow you,
Excellent.
it can save time on voyaging around the area, basically.
We'll take that to install on the ship. Unless
Very
someone has
nice.
cartography proficiency, that's something Slurp's going to get later.
All is well either way. It can largely help on its own. So, heading back over to the Happy Beholder. Entering back in. It's a little later in the day, like mid-afternoon-ish at this point. See, oh, hey, didn't expect to see you guys back. What's going on?
Well,
It's like we've been offered a very promising commission. However, the particular details of it might frighten off lesser spined folk.
I
You
see.
wouldn't happen to know any suggestions for a trustworthy crew?
I mean, there's a... Looks over you guys for a moment. What kind of danger? You can whisper. I know it doesn't look like I have ears, but I'm a very good listener.
or
You will
just
do
look
the
at
telepathic
Flax and Rivy.
crawl space.
What was that, Sarah?
Oh yeah, no, just use the three cream to whisper.
Ah.
Just, the eyes narrow for a moment. Oh, spicy.
Allegedly, it's been thousands of years. But you know how sailors and superstitions are.
Indeed. We're all don't mess around. Just floats around for a moment. Eye stalk touching the chin. Well, I think I know a couple people who might actually be in the market for something that crazy.
The pay is good.
Oh, I don't doubt it if somebody's offering for you to do that. That's technically illegal. You just get the telepathic gesture of air quotes in your head.
Yeah. But nonetheless, it's for a good cause.
Oh, I believe you. Well, there are two individuals. Recommend. You found a squid model. That should be enough to where you'd be able to operate things on your own decently. Maybe even a third. Oh, that one's a bit of a... I'll have to probably get in
Tell.
contact with them myself.
Mm.
So you might want to head down to the Rock Rat for one of them. That's probably where he's at.
Rock
Old
rat.
Githyanki fella named Valk.
All right.
Yeah. The tattoos are going to paint a very different picture from how he is now. Let's just say his past ain't the greatest.
I can vouch for that.
But he's not been on a ship in a while, and I think he's been getting the itch for it. He's good for it. He can hold his own.
Good to know. And who are these two other prospects?
Let's see. After Valk, well, you head down into, just kind of pulls out a little town map. Yeah, they're probably over there. There's Crazy Smurf.
Crazy Smurf.
Crazy
Yeah,
Smurf.
auto gnome fella. Probably could find him down there at the market nearby. It's colorful, little explosive,
That
But,
might be what we need.
crazy, as I said. Also capable of holding their own. All you really need to do to get him to agree is say, "Bet you can't do it."
I'll keep that in mind.
Captain, can I go get that one? Captain, can I go get that one?
I suppose if we split up, it would cut down on time. It's a big city.
It would.
So
And
long as you
said
take
would
care not to
contact
get
the
mugged.
third.
We've already
Funny
done that.
story.
Funny story.
Aw.
You two both saying that in unison.
Aw. Hey, your first mugging. That's the greatest. How'd it
Oh,
go?
like,
I've
Well-
been
technically
involved
we
in several
saved some.
muggings, thank you.
We
First
mugged
mugging
him
on
back.
roll? That's special.
We mugged them back.
Aw, I'm so proud.
See, they weren't even mugging us. They were mugging someone else, and we mugged them.
Yes. And then,
Wonderful.
and Gadsworth did a very good job, didn't you, Gadsworth?
Well, of course you did.
And then the people we rescued from the mugging are now the ones hiring us. So, fortuitous.
Well, lucky you.
Yeah, worked out. What did you get from them, by the way, Slayer?
Oh, stir map.
No, the muggers.
Oh,
Rifle, and they had like pocket change. They were not carrying much.
yeah. Yeah, they had basically nothing. It's like they were expecting maybe to be pinched by law enforcement if something went wrong.
And if I believe correctly, Luigi, you mentioned a third potential one. You said that might be iffy.
I might have to get in contact with him myself and soften him up to it. It's
Why is that?
he's not exactly in the right side of the law here in the Rock at the moment. Colorful fella. He's one of the fair folk. I think he's actually a fairy. Tiny little guy.
Oh,
Named Shiv.
Oh. An actual criminal. Awesome.
Oh, am I not?
At least only name I know him by is Shiv. Yeah.
Yes,
Key
we were
day,
also.
it varies. Fair folk tend to be in that manner. I don't really get the gender thing. None of us eye tyrants really do. We're just what we are.
Oh, mood. Slurp says.
oh. I was really like, you know.
Shiv might be hiding out. I'll see if I can get in touch with him. Chance to get
And-
off the rock might actually be good for him.
Do any of these three have spell jamming capabilities? It was recommended that we have someone trustworthy that we would trust to watch the ship while we are disembarked.
Well, as far as I know, Shiv can. No, they have
Alright,
magical
that's
abilities.
good.
Most fairies do. Valk is more. His abilities are psionic in nature. As far as I know, no magic. Crazy Smurf, who knows?
We're gonna go find out.
The name like Crazy Smurf, you don't know.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to know with a name
guess
like
we'll
that.
start
Um,
with Asked so
It's
kindly.
Smurf, right? With an SH?
Smurf.
Smurf.
You think I'm going to pronounce that right ever? Even though I know how to pronounce it? Nope.
Do whatever you want. All right.
Meta, since you asked so kindly, you can deal with the autonome.
Yee!
I myself will head to the Rock Rat. It's my kind of environment.
Yep. And
There's Drago.
yeah, do you want me to just? If I can get Shiv to show up, I'll just send him over to your ship down at the dry dock.
That'd be much
Yes.
appreciated.
Trust me, they will not steal anything from you. He owes me. This might no longer be the case when this is all done, but I may have lied to law enforcement on his behalf at least once.
Luigi. I guess
What?
I'll wait at the ship to meet him if he shows up.
Yeah, good call.
It's morally correct to lie to cops.
Yeah,
That is in my notes now.
that was an
Large
affectionate
Luigi.
Luigi.
Large Luigi ain't no snitch. Anyway, I got a table to bus. Just kind of floats off. It's like, good luck.
Are
All right.
we?
It's
would
not that I
really
don't trust you,
benefit
Meta,
from
but
the-
if this gnome is as explosive as they say, someone should go with you.
Okay, I'm taking Slurp. Bye.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I'd slip first.
Slurp, you wanna
Okay.
come? He blows things up, Slurp. That means you will be friends. Come on.
Mm-hmm. Where was this gnome?
In the
lower
market.
Asking that as falling out.
Oswin.
Oh, and
Yes?
as walking out, Slurp was like, Luigi would really benefit with the benefit of some unseen servant installations.
Who do you think runs the kitchen and washes the dishes? You hear from the other side of the room. Don't have to pay people
Yes.
for the busy work that way.
Yes, class.
I'm going to ask, would you prefer the bustle of the market or the, well, more rough and tumble nature of the rock rats? Because I know your nerves are a little on edge. Or, if anything, in case the Shiv person shows up, you can wait for them on the ship. Make sure nothing happens.
He has not turned to look in to meet your eyes, but he's thinking. Where do you think I'd look best?
The rock rat is it's a bit of a low dive.
It is, but they can't steal a mound of rock.
True, I'm just asking after your current mental state.
Turns to him and eyes narrow again. What's that mean?
At the very least, if we get into the fight at the rock rat, no one's going to snitch.
Yes.
No.
That kind of crowd can be touchy.
No, go back. What's that about my current mental state?
You were a little on edge back there.
Because they were lying to us, and I was right.
I don't think they were lying so much as they hadn't yet told
They were
us.
withholding information. It's the same thing.
Yes.
Dangerous
we
information.
We extracted some of that
Yeah.
withheld information on our own.
And I got what they were hiding.
I'm fairly certain we could have gotten the rest without threatening them.
I didn't threaten them. I just made the situation clear. Prolonged eye contact.
Well,
Come on,
it
Slurp,
sucks
let's
to
go
be
find
you.
the Huddle.
Bugs don't blink.
I'm made of rock.
Ruby is just standing there looking between you like this is a tennis match.
Doesn't know what a police officer is, does know what tennis is.
She doesn't know what tennis is. I know what tennis is.
I was about to say one of them serves a better public good. Anyway.
I will go where you think I could do the best job and with what I have. But I am out of spell slots, and I'm still a little roughed up from the fight.
In that case,
There's actually-
maybe, in that case, would you be open to the idea of going to the ship and catching some shut-eye?
I will meet Shiv
Um,
there when he arrives.
Precisely.
I was-
I'll take a look around the ship, make sure everything's in order.
Besides, it's now ours, so you might as well decide which room is yours.
I'll let you choose first.
Bah. What was that, slurp?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask before, but I kept forgetting. Could we have said I don't know if it would have been long enough, but would we have been able to get a short rest at Elmandar's?
Nah, probably not. You weren't there long enough really to benefit from that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So you head up to the ship, make sure it's all well and good. Maybe catch some shut-eye, and in case Luigi manages to convince the Shiv person, you can receive them.
Sounds good.
Slurp's not there to suggest it, but you could send Marshmallow with Osmond.
All right.
Yeah, for communication, yeah.
Mhm.
That sounds good.
Rivi, I assume you would like to come along, at least to keep me company and watch my back?
Yes,
Bug time.
Oswin,
Yes,
you are by yourself.
I am.
You will take Marshmallow with you.
What?
It is dangerous to go alone. Take this.
She hands you the fluffy, weirdly fluffy, like, aphid. She just puts them in her in your face, like, you will take Marshmallow.
Takes Marshmallow, like,
Captain's
looks.
orders. You will take Marshmallow.
Marshmallow makes an actual little squeaking sound pressed up against your skin.
Oh my god! Osmond, like, looks at Marshmallow, and the air of, like, the air of anger that's been hanging around him for a bit melts, and he's just like, trying very hard not to make a face at this adorable thing.
Oh, Marshmallow, you're gonna embarrass me.
Roll to resist. Roll to resist a squee.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a
He's
charm. Charm
trying.
effect.
Let's see, is that a wisdom saving throw?
You wish. I'm not gonna force you.
He holds it in.
Captain's orders. You will take Marshmallow.
Alright, I'll take Marshmallow.
Can
Excellent.
Why is Marshmallow's
Don't get
charisma
any-
only 7? That doesn't make any sense.
That makes no sense. I just don't, get shanked when I'm not around to punch them.
That's why Rivi's with me. Don't worry too much. I'm the one who does the shanking.
Am I here to be
You can't
shanked?
shank. You can't shank back if you're the one being shanked.
I have 4 arms.
Fair point. Alright, you contact me through Marshmallow if anything comes up. Can you do that?
Yes,
Marshmallow? Okay.
that is why I
contact
gave you
you- you-
Marshmallow.
You just hold the marshmallow up and you make direct eye contact.
Yeah. Can you do that?
Tell me what secrets you have.
It's like a psychic cell phone.
Yeah.
Holds
Yeah,
Marshmallow up to your ear.
Yeah. Hello?
Let me know if anything happens or you need me. I'll be right there. I'll be there as quickly as I can. Yeah.
Marshmallow will squeak at me.
All right. Husband turns and he heads out.
Well then. We've got a lot of ground to cover.
Are we going to shank somebody?
Hmm?
Is that what we are doing? Are we going to shank somebody?
No, we're not going to shank anybody if we can help it.
Okay.
However, since I sense your disappointment, the Rock Rat is the place you would most likely get shanked. So there's a non-zero chance there will be a shanking.
Well, at least I can watch one.
Okay.
You're learning
Note
lots
yourself,
of shit about
Riv.
Rivi right now.
Rivi likes to watch.
God damn it, Phoebe!
Oh.
A voyeur of pain.
Yes, go on, munch.
This tastes like person.
No, that's meta.
Yep.
It's meta. All gaming is meta gaming. Including gamey meat.
Yeah.
Ah!
Ugh.
I mean, Slurp wouldn't care.
No, it's just fuel. All right. Okay, so let's roll to see who goes first here. I'm gonna roll a
There's a reason
d20.
why Slurp was very quiet about the whole eating people thing.
All right,
First
crazy
contact
Smurf
was
at the start
messy.
it is.
Oh boy.
Excellent.
First contact was messy.
All right, so the journey to the low market is thankfully eventless. There's not much to it. Pretty easy trip up north. It's a kind of a shanty town of sorts in that regard. There's a lot there, lots of little stalls, lots of
Awesome.
things to get, but most of it's kind of cheap.
Do you think they'll have kangaroo? I heard a kangaroo is a very tasty animal.
It would have to be imported.
I mean, I'm on the assumption that there's no working farms on this space rock and all food's imported.
Believe it or not, there actually are working farms, but you don't know that for sure.
Get up, kitty. I gotta get up.
This is just from Meta's own personal observation, as if I haven't seen one yet.
That's because they are very well hidden.
They're actually mostly on the underside of the rock.
Precisely.
Exactly. So, we're looking for an auto gnome who is very eccentric and is blowing things up. So I think if we're just patient and keep an eye out, we'll find him.
We could also ask around, because that sounds like someone who leaves an impression. And craters.
Do you think we could follow the craters, like following a trail of breadcrumbs or something? Or do you think he's just too chaotic and it'll just form a weird pattern on the ground that you won't realize until you look up from above and go, oh, he made a shape?
I mean, no offense, but your moon must have got very bored with only 20 people, huh?
It was not a very big moon, and while I did have 6 friends growing up, we got into some shenanigans.
Look at this bitch with her 6 friends.
But Slurp would like to start asking, like, if we're at the market, like, if just start asking around since they know markets.
Just to interrupt real briefly, I just realized, oh, that's actually a good thing. We sent a charismatic person with each party.
We did.
You guys actually did a good job there. I was wondering if you guys would mess that up.
Yeah.
You did good. You chose wisely.
Yes. So I will help with him.
I can look up information in addition to items.
Okay.
Yes, so you
I-
asked, so who around here would be a sunk cost?
Depending on if it's an int or a charisma, depends on who's giving advantage on who, I think.
For sure. All right. So, see here. Former merchant. All right, so first stall you pass. See, there's a few plasmoids out and about. You just kind of slurp your way on up to one. Just, hey, you know where Crazy Smurf is? It's like, oh yeah, he's over there.
Oh. Thank you.
I mean,
Yes.
yes.
It does not take terribly long. In fact, they just say, just follow the cackling and the sounds of metal being ground. It's fascinating. It's almost artful. So,
I am excited to meet this individual now.
as you're walking along, the two of you bump into a very large GIF woman that has hauling a big wheelbarrow full of various bits of scrap metal.
Ooh, sorry.
Oh, no mind. Don't mind me, just about to go unload some things. And before
Yeah,
long, you
sure.
realize you're both walking the same way. And she's like, oh, you here for Smurf too?
Yeah.
Like,
We
hey,
got Luigi sent us out this way.
Well, it's like, I don't know what kind of mood he'll be in today to see people who ain't gonna bring no kind of tribute, but
Looking at the scrap, what kind of scrap is it? Since Slurp is an artificer.
I will say you don't have to roll for that. Generally, just it looks like old electronics bits of like masonry, tools. It's all very broken up and in disrepair. It doesn't really look like it's anything salvageable. It is truly a mess.
Slurp has ideas. As oh, we keep our and Slurp like burps out the immovable rod, and it's like I hold on to our valuables and just swallow like eats it back up again.
Like,
I
oh,
have
well,
no idea how he does that, for the record.
that's a mighty impressive skill. So, well, you might actually make a good impression on him after all if you open with that.
But don't worry, I'm not putting that item up for sale. People.
I mean, if we're trying to hire him, it's not
No,
like we want to
I have
have
something
potential
better that you
access.
might like. I have things he might be interested otherwise.
I have a stick.
Looking up to the gift woman.
Mhm.
We were sent to speak with Smurf, but we don't really know much about him. What can we expect? There's
That's actually a harder question to answer than you might realize. But
The more and more I hear of this man, this auto gnome, the more and more I want to meet him.
Smurf is an artist of a peculiar sort. Let's just say that. Likes working with certain materials. And you'll know pretty quickly. He does a lot of it himself. Speaking of which, we are nearing his handiwork right about now, as you can see from the sign. And you see this old, really run-down sign saying Crazy Smurf's Scrapyard and Art Studio.
Oh, he's a scrapper. That makes more sense.
And then some.
And to be fair, I haven't met a scrapper who was just a scrapper. They're a scrapper and something else.
Hey,
I met
well,
one. I met one once that was a pianist and a scrapper.
did they make their own pianos?
I didn't ask. I should
See,
have.
you can make art from trash.
It's art.
One man's garbage is another man's masterpiece.
all right. And as you near closer and closer to Crazy Smurfs, it does not take long before you start hearing the sounds of metal being ground, things being hammered, things being melted, and then on occasion things sounding like they're being exploded. What you're
See, I
saying is
told you
that,
he was up here.
and you are treated to the site. Let me pull up the art for Crazy Smurf.
Oh, he's a pre-made character. That's even better.
Oh boy.
See, I told you, Slurp, you were gonna like this guy. He's gonna have all sorts of weird stuff. He's gonna be a little kooky in the best way. And all we gotta do is probably look at him and be like, hey, bet you won't go out into deep space. You know, how about according to Luigi? And Luigi wouldn't lie to us, right?
And look glad at the gift woman. Leans over. And ooh. Crazy Smurf. God. Because him being an auto gnome, Crawl would probably ignore them, right? They're not made out of meat.
As you turn the corner, you see a large metal tree that is being It is glowing red hot in various stages of clear welding, and you see suspended from scaffolding this figure, a diminutive little auto gnome with metallic facsimile of mutton chops, a large monocle glowing red, wearing a hood that looks like a cross between a hood and a conquistador helmet. And just various bits of scrappery along their body with long, slightly longer than they should be, arms. See. Oh, Delilah, hello. You bringing stuff for Crazy Smurf? Hold on, let Crazy Smurf lower himself to the ground. And it just starts coming down.
He is already my new favorite.
Just skitters on over towards. Say, wonderful. Crazy Smurf will make great use of all of these things. Say, well, our tab is settled. I am satisfied. Say, thank you very much, Smurf. Won't be so late next time. It's like, can't wait to see your next piece. Yes, indeed, my next piece. It will be something. And just kind of, I do not recognize you two. What business have you with Crazy Smurf?
Oh, apologies. Hello, be not afraid. My name is Meta Oust. Large Luigi sent us this way.
My name is Slurp.
Oh, yes, this is Slurp.
Why would Luigi send you to Crazy Smurfs? You don't appear the type that seek out Crazy Smurf.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. And she's like looking up at the tree and like, because that's just cool. But, you can go ahead. I mean, it's not hard to. It's not hard to impress me. I come from like a little backwater moon.
You should increase your standards. It's shit.
Why is it shit?
Because Crazy Smurf is suffering from artist block, if I can be honest with you.
Oh.
Skitters over and just...
I can relate.
So, I want to roll a persuasion check right now as I say this.
Okay.
You know, I'm not the biggest into art stuff. I've tried a little bit. I'm okay at it. It's not that great. But I got the best advice was sometimes you have to change your perspective. And sometimes you have to get out of your usual ruts and go see something new.
And, goes, oh, we heard from your friend Delilah that you would possibly appreciate this. And Slurp just opens up their chest plate of their armor and pulls out the wreckage of the Clockwork Horror and dumps it on the ground.
Oh.
This is a bit beyond my capabilities to repair or utilize at the moment, but I believe you would probably find use for this.
Have you been holding that in there for a year?
Have the room.
Sick.
Like that you didn't say no.
It's a long pause where he's like, do I deny that or not?
Slurp found the bag of holding on the Beholder ship where they also got the wreckages.
No, that's fair. And Meta's just like, sick. So, we were wondering if you would like to come on a potentially really risky adventure to spark up your creative side, and then we have a couple little extra hands on our ship.
Straight to business, I see. So you are not just here to be groupies here to admire the work of Crazy Smurf.
I mean, I would love to spend like an hour at least looking through it all. Like, I was like, people like, oh, just go talk to Crazy, like, we would just like talk to Crazy Smurf, and everyone's like, oh yeah, it's Crazy Smurf, but nobody told me that this stuff was cool.
Crazy Smurf has less friends than he thought.
Well, to be fair, we've been in town for approximately like 2 hours, 3 hours.
It's been half a day at the least.
Has it already been half a day? Okay. Fair enough, I suppose. But I am all about getting new experiences and seeing new things, so I would love to go through your work. But we also wanted to make sure we were up forward and front about it, because we're potentially going into places that aren't the most legal. That's what they told me.
You
We're
seek
going
out Crazy Smurf for clandestine wet work.
not clandestine wet work. We're going after artifact retrieval on a moon in a dead system.
What, pray tell, made you think that Crazy Smurf was the right fellow for this job?
I suppose if he doesn't want to do it, he doesn't want to do it, right?
I mean, if you don't want to do it, it's fine. I mean, I can understand someone with your talents might not want to go out into crawl space and risk it all. But Large Luigi recommended you first above everyone else.
He pulls off one of the arms from the Clockwork Horror, cracks it at the joint, and starts eating the interior of it. Like a crab leg.
Ah, God.
Crazy Smurf. We'll do it for free.
Oh my god!
Must be some tasty ass horror there.
It's been well,
Crazy Smurf will do for free.
It's been fermenting inside of Slurp for a year.
Oh my god.
It's a nice
Oh,
acidic
I
tang
know.
to it.
Why did you put it
Okay,
that way?
he's not like boring dang things.
Sorry, it's just
Absolutely,
Oh.
absolutely terrible way to put that. But it's
You're welcome.
accurate, and I hate you.
okay.
Okay.
We are with the ship the Gadsworth. It's a squid class ship. It's a little bit of an oldie.
Gadsworth.
Oh, and I forgot, this is my boy Gadsworth, and introduces.
Our little pet, yes.
I believe the
This
term
one's
is a
mine, this
familiar.
is.
Right then. Well,
I built this one.
to be completely honest, Crazy Smurf is in a significant bit of debt.
Oh no.
Property leasing is a lot, so escaping for a time might actually be in Crazy Smurf's best interests. So thank you. I'll see you there. Just walks over, pushes over the metal tree, just lets it crash down to the ground. Wonderful. Already better. Skitters up, grabs the other arm of the Clockwork Horror. Snacks to go, and just starts skittering off in the direction of the dock.
Oh my god.
I feel like he's gonna fit right in.
Well, at least the captain.
Yeah.
At least the captain will be happy to know he's working for free.
Vivi, this
Slurp's
guy's.
like,
Yes.
go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say this guy's voice is killing me.
Uh-huh.
I love it.
You're welcome.
He's great.
What do you think, Slurp?
Oh, I am fascinated to learn more from him as we travel.
Oh, man, I really,
Absolutely
this was
valid.
fucking great after this.
And since he's already scurried, ooh, who do we lose? Oh, DZ's connection went out for a second. Can I roll an investigation to see if there's anything interesting in the ruins of Crazy Smurfs?
Yeah, I was
Alright.
actually gonna.
Roll.
I was actually gonna ask that too.
Alright, welcome back. Alright, you may roll investigations if you wish to dig through Crazy Smurf's trash.
Could I get Slurp to help with just like doing a sci-fi scan of the place?
Hey, I'm back.
Yay.
Welcome back.
Oh,
For that
Right.
nat 20, I'll allow it. Okay. You look out and behold Gallery of Ruin. This man has clearly, been under this condition of artist block for some time. What of value there was here is basically all been turned into some manner of... He's been trying to make the same fucking tree for clearly years, and he's just never been satisfied with it. It looks like a palm tree farm in a state of decay, then immortalized into metallic sculpture.
Ugh.
Just trunks branches, sheet metal, all scattered about. There's even metallic spheres that resemble coconuts.
You know, I like it. It's a good art piece.
He's got a lovely
Maybe
bunch
he
of
needs to
coconuts.
go. Maybe he needs to go visit an actual beach.
Maybe.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Though I don't trust the round things when I don't know why. There's approximately potentially one listener who's going to understand why Meta would not want to touch a coconut.
What a lovely bunch of coconuts. Big ones, smaller ones, ones the size of your head.
Don't
DJ
get
might
the
actually
content
smack
drops.
me for yelling.
All right. So, with that done,
Oh. Oh no, go ahead. Never mind. Continue, sorry.
so with that said, we cut back to our fellow bugs. The
Bugs.
rock rat is thankfully surprisingly easy to find. There's really not that much to it. It's a very clear hole in the wall. It has earned its place. The most interesting thing about the rock rat is that it is set up with the clear intent of having a business available for rats. So there's lots of tiny little tables set up with like little plates and all that, but they're all very dirty and broken in various states of disrepair. There's clearly a failed experiment here. You could see little offerings and food crumbs laid around, but none of the rats sat at the tables. None of the rats left good tips. The plan was clearly abandoned.
Aww.
Well, rats can be trained. It just takes time.
Is that for the moon rats?
Mm-hmm. Careful, they nibble.
All right, so entering in, does not take long. It is actually not technically operating as a business at this exact moment in time, but it is a nice little dark hovel outside of the busyness of it. You see the mod, the very infamous around town were-rat that mans things is, oh, what the fucking like, oh, sorry, we're not open yet, but what can I help you with?
We just happen to be looking for someone. We've been told they frequent this place.
And why would you happen to be looking for them?
Just a little job offering is all. You wouldn't happen to know a Yankee by the name of Valk, would you?
She starts laughing a little bit. Val? Oh boy. Skitters over to a little corner booth where you see it was very dim lighting, but there's somebody very clearly slumped over on the table over there in the booth.
Oh
Just say, oh jeez, are you actually dead this time? Nope, here you are. Starts slapping him in the back of the head a little bit. Valk, it's your opportunity to pay off your tab and be a productive member of society again. Go away. Just hear you're kind of muttering under it. Say,
Slurp is gonna sit down on the opposite end across from him.
leaning up, you behold. First thing you notice. Actually, wait, hold on. Gotta change the body type real quick. Get Yankee have claws.
No, that's true.
They do? Wait, they do?
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess Yankee are a little
Huh.
weird.
Thank you. Are pretty cool.
Wish their lore was a little more interesting, but it's starting to get there.
They are not just green elves.
I mean,
For one thing,
Half-
they don't have noses.
They don't have noses. I was gonna say, like, oh no, they don't have interesting backstories. As half of them are space pirates on dragons, and half of them are psionic monks.
Oh, that's the difference between Githyanki and Githzerai.
Do not compare me to a Githzerai.
Mm.
You
Yeah,
hear in your
yeah.
head.
Don't get those mixed up.
Just what the fuck do you want? Leading up, you see somewhat bedraggled older fellow, covered in scars, tattoo markings along both sides of the face, one side black, the other white, and strapped onto their back is a sword that he looks like he should not be able to wield.
Ooh.
Impressive piece you have there. When was the last time you used it?
You got a bottle on you?
Is that what you've resorted to? You opening bottles with it?
It's a trick I could do with it. You're making a wonderful first impression. What do you want?
We're going to
No,
go
just-
do space crimes. We would like you to come with.
That's one way to put it.
I see.
We're here with a business opportunity, and although I would have liked to have led into it, yes, it is not strictly legal.
Aren't we
Okay,
supposed to be
well-
honest with people?
Yes, but you have to be honest in the right order.
That's confusing.
I know it is.
So, what? You're just... Let me see if I've got this right. You must not have been doing this very long, have you?
No, that's why we're here, in fact. We're looking for a crew hand.
And you came recommended.
Really?
Oh, yes. I've been told that you've been looking for purpose. And our bartender friend just told us that you have a little bit of a debt.
Most people on this rock do. Who sent you? Find me. I gotta tell you, I'm near the bottom of the list in all regards. For many different reasons, I don't know why, unless this mission is suicidal in every single sense of the word.
Perhaps a little.
A little.
Oh, wonderful. So,
Well, Osmond will like.
Yes, 2 chips off the same block.
no details? Clearly, there's a life risk involved.
It's not that we are seeking people who are expendable, we are seeking people who are trustworthy because of the danger of this particular expedition.
Any